Hi, Bryony. Hello, everyone. It's an Amanda Meets, and I am with beautiful Bryony Blake, who so kindly talked about my tannage on this morning a couple of times now. And thank you for speaking to me today.
Oh my gosh, it's an absolute joy. Absolute pleasure. I'm so thrilled. I'm very honored that you asked me.
Well,
so thank you.
I know that we both love makeup and tanning and skin and everything in between. So it's just so nice to talk to someone like-minded, and I can kind of get to grips with what you love.
I know we can geek out on beauty products.
I know, exactly. I want to see your array of kit downstairs. I know it's there.
Oh dear, it's in several suitcases. My kit's in several suitcases. The rest of my life is down there in drawers. I actually have someone coming to help me later because it gets to a point where I actually can't do it. Because I just want to try everything and anything, and I just don't have the capacity to do that.
No, so. I don't know if you're like me, but if I sort of pivoted my computer, there's just boxes of, we're very lucky because we do get sent things.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, love it. I mean, I'm literally, it's like Christmas every day for me.
I know. And I'm just like, I need to display it in order to use it and give it some airtime and just have a like a real route in, but it's getting stuck, and I need someone like you to come and help me, and we need
it's really hard, and it's also really hard, especially when it's got like makeup's a bit different, I feel, because when I get sent makeup, I love it and I can try it and then put it in a drawer and kind of bring it out when I need to, and kind of go back and forth, because I reuse stuff all the time with makeup, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that in my kit, and I swap things in and out of my kit all the time because you do get bored of just using the same stuff. Yeah. But when it comes to skincare, that's really difficult, because obviously with skincare, you're supposed to use it for like a good 3-4 months and get through it, and then you go and buy a new one. But everyone, like, kind of, you want to try it so you can give your advice to it, but at the same time I'm like, well, I need to try it for quite a long time, so it's very, and I also hate waste. So that's the other thing, is like, you're like, oh, I've got like 4 moisturizers on the go at the moment, and I'm not quite sure which one I like.
I'm in that really difficult period at the moment where I've got so many serums to try, and so much skincare and tinted moisturizers, and I'm just trying to, as you say, give them some airtime. I'm getting a little bit confused. It's a first world problem. What can we do?
I know. I mean, it's just something that I absolutely adore as well. So I kind of just like, I get so excited by stuff. And then, I mean, you should see my bathroom. I was like, I'd love to be one of those people that just has a shampoo, conditioner, and a shower gel, but I have like 15, and I can't help myself because I just like to mix and match and try it all.
You're
and
so like me. I have purple shampoos, I have dry, luster shampoos, smoothing shampoos, and then I have 50 different cleansers, scrubs for body and face, but 5 of each. I mean,
it's hilarious. You look in that cabinet and you open my boyfriend's side, he's very neat and has like toothpaste, toothbrush, a moisturizer. You open mine and like literally everything like could jump out at any second. I've got like
do a shelfie. I can't do a shelfie like they do on Instagram. Mine wouldn't look like that.
No, mine's embarrassing. I've probably got stuff in there that's like 5 years old, but I don't want to throw it away because I loved it at one point, and I'm like, no, I might come back to it.
So are you a hoarder makeup artist?
Oh, I would love to say no, but yes. I mean, I have to be, kind of thing, because of what I do, on my social media and stuff. Like, I owe it to people to try these things and put it on me so they can see what it looks like on me, and then I can say, this is lovely. And also when I do makeup, like when I do my videos, I want to try new things each time, because otherwise it's just boring me using the same thing over and over again. But there are things that I do genuinely use over and over again. So you've just got to try and kind of mix it up a bit. But at the same time, when we work, all of us makeup artists in a room, when we're allowed all in a room together, you all just love each other's products. So you're like, I need some of that.
We are such literally like little Dachshunds going, what's that? And just, why do we all like each other's kits and not our own?
I know, because it's new and it's different. It's so funny. Lots of people go, so do you really just sit around talking about makeup all day? And I'm like, no, of course not. And I'm like, no, actually, yeah, I do. And I love it. yeah. It's the best thing in the world.
But please, can you share your brilliant career so far, because it's major that you're doing all these hit TV shows. I mean, I'm really envious of this scenario, because it is every makeup artist's dream. Really.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, I mean, I'm incredibly lucky. I take, you know, I was in, I know I was in the right place at the right time. So nothing to do with actual skill. I'm very good at blagging. But I think when I came out of university, it's weird. I've always been I can't really do anything else. I know that sounds weird, but even as a kid, and you talk to my best mates who I was at school with since I was like 4, and we've been best friends for years. They've always said to me, like, you always wanted to be an artist or a makeup artist or whatever. So I always knew I wanted to do that. And there wasn't really any other option for me. Like, I absolutely was just determined to do it. So when I kind of went to college and then I went to uni, everything was based around the fact that I wanted to be a makeup artist. So I would do all my projects around makeup or do you know what I mean? So I really kind of had that focus. And also because I was an artist and I love drawing and painting and things, like I love that side of it. So that really excites me too. So kind of when I left uni, I was like, I'm going to get on every film. You just wait. And this was before like social media or even like email. I mean, emails, yes, but not really. So I was kind of just calling people going, hi, I hear that you're, you know, this film's being shot. Can I come on? You know, can I come on it and train? And, you know, I've done this, this and this. And I had done some work experience beforehand with an amazing makeup artist called Jackie Tyson. She does a lot of pop stars and stuff like that. And I managed to get like a week with her when I was about 16. And I basically called her up when I had finished uni at like 19, 20. And I said, look, don't know if you remember me. And she was like, yes, I remember you. I was like, oh, good. In a good way. And I said, well, look, I finished uni now. I said, and I'm literally just like knocking on people's doors and just saying like, I'm ready. I want to do it. So if you have anything that I could come and assist you with, like, please keep me in mind. And, you know, just thought, right, on to the next person. And about, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks later, she called me and she said, oh, funnily enough, I've actually got quite a big gig called Band Aid 20. And I'd love you to come and assist me on it. And I was like, sure. I'm not really sure what that is, but okay. I mean, like, how do I not know? My dad used to get furious with me not knowing half the like musicians and stuff I've worked with. And I was like, yeah, fine. And then I was like, I walked straight in and there's like Coldplay, there's the Darkness, there's the Sugar Babes, there's like every single huge pop star that you've ever seen all in one room together. And I basically just ended up assisting Jackie. And she said, actually, funny enough, I'm starting a new show on Saturday nights. I've done one of them, and she goes, I'm going on to the second one, and it's called X Factor. Do you want to kind of come and be my assistant on that? And I was like, sure. And then that kind of escalated. She then did X Factor and was part of all the kind of, you know, contestants. And then she also does Britain's Got Talent. So that went straight into Britain's Got Talent. And from there, it just escalated, and meeting people on those shows and working with other makeup artists. I then met Lisa Armstrong, and then she asked me to come on Strictly with her. And I'm on I think it's 13th year of Strictly now.
My God.
Yeah.
You're getting old, love.
I'm telling you. And I've been on Britain's Got Talent since the start, but I started with the contestants and now I'm with David Walliams. So I work with him. And it is crazy to think that. And I just love it. I love the excitement.
It's got a really nice family vibe, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like being in film. TV's the same, you know, it's the same people. And you just buddy up and you have a wonderful time. It's so
exactly. And that's the thing, obviously you have to prove your worth, like being an assistant. I mean, I've definitely noticed that more, because I was like, I don't think I was a very good assistant. I don't really compared to the assistants I've had now and people I work with. But I think you really do have to kind of be so on it, and especially on shows like you know, Strictly and live shows. And funny enough, I've done quite a bit of film, like just daily work on films, and they're so different because you kind of have all that rush at the beginning of a film, like early in the morning, you get there at like 4.
Sit around all day.
Whereas I'm totally not used to that. So I'm like, I have got to quickly change a lip in 10 seconds. And there is no like, then they're not going to wait for you. And you're literally running along before they go on to the show. And so there's a real kind of difference of it. But I kind of love the adrenaline that you get of a live show. And I think it's probably quite like that with theatre as well. You know, that kind of like, oh my God, quick wig change.
It's the same as runway as well. It's the same as, you know, fashion shows. But that's actually very interesting you picked that up on features, because that's why I moved out of features, because I couldn't deal with the buzz at 3:30 in the morning getting however many ready.
Yeah.
And then all day just...
it's the sitting around. I mean, I don't know how much I've cleaned my kit.
And then you're always the last off set, because if you're doing special effects, you've got to take it off.
Yeah.
So it's just long days and long shoots.
Yeah.
But I always used to come out the shoot day going, what did I achieve today? It was really weird. It really played with my creative brain. And I was like,
I was going to say, so how did you kind of go from doing what we do to then going, do you know what? I really want to kind of create my own thing.
I still do what we do, because I love it, and you're like me, very arty, and I knew from the age of 10. Well, I had a brush in my hand at 6, and I was always painting. But then my mum actually said to me the other day, she said, Amanda, you were 10 when you told me you wanted to be a makeup artist, just like you. And she said, and you never deviated off of it, and everything we did was because you wanted to be a makeup artist. I used to drag you to the BBC and talk to the head makeup artist because you wanted to talk to her. And she told you at that time, you will not have a life. You will have to work. And I was like, all right. I'm still going to do it though, Mum.
Yeah, that's the ultimate test, actually. Because I think people don't realise how, you know, how many best mates weddings you miss, or how many holidays you can't.
You just put the makeup on.
You
know, and you do miss all the fun bits.
But also, like, you know, you have to make judgments as well. I remember not having to go to a friend's wedding in Australia because I got asked to do a TV program, and I was like, this is really hard because I'm choosing between my life and my career. But if I had gone, then I wouldn't have had. And the thing is with our job is that it leads to other things. So working with those people, you know, having that conversation with that person at a party, them taking your number and then calling you to go and work on such and such, them introducing you to someone else, it has such a major knock-on effect that you kind of really need to have those, you need to really have that brain to be like, I know it sounds really selfish and I absolutely want to be there for your wedding, but that's not really going to help me right now in the way that I need to be in my career. So I'm going to have to choose that. But it doesn't mean I don't still love you. And luckily, loads of my friends and family totally get it, and they're incredible. But it's hard. It's not an easy thing. Absolutely.
Exactly. And you do, you know, your friends who are meant to be there, they stick and they understand, and, you know, they get used to it. I think my friends who was just like, yeah, she's, you know, she's probably too busy, but we'll try.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
I'm always the second. I'm never the first call on anything. I'm probably second, third. Like, I'll try.
I'll try. She's not going to do it, but she might. And there always sometimes.
There's always a chance. I mean, at least we're an interesting roulette for everyone. You know.
Exactly. It's never boring. You know. And
we'll always bring the stories. I'll always bring the story.
But I always really admire, I mean, like, people like you really help me kind of with this side of my career now, because I've having to split my brain, which I'm sure you do as well. But like, because I've now doing a lot more kind of on social media and, like, you know, doing lots of lovely, amazing partnerships with people and stuff like that, I've had to really like separate my brain from being a makeup artist with someone to then I'm actually the person that people want to listen to, which normally they don't. So how do you cope with that? Because, you know, you're huge in your own right and you have an amazing brand that you've created, which is incredible. So to then suddenly go and just, you know, have to deal with someone with a cold, or, you know, chewing while you're trying to apply lipstick, and the stresses that we have to kind of deal with as a makeup artist, and you're like, do you know what, I've actually how do you kind of separate your brain?
So I've never thought of it like that.
It's hard.
Thought of that, Bryony. I've just you know what, I think of my brand as her. She's she's her own deal, this one. She's cooking.
Yeah.
And we all work for her, because if you have a team that think, and look, it's very hard for them to not think it's me, because it is me, obviously.
Yeah.
My name's on the tin and I made every single piece of
Yeah.
this collection.
Yeah, it's your heart.
And it's my heart, and it's my life's project, and it's just, you know, it's laid bare, it's my life's work. But you know, it's business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there has to be an element of separation on it, especially for me, and approach everything without ego.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
There's no element of ego in anything that I ever do.
But I think that's also possibly why it's really successful as well, because I find with your product speaks for itself. I've never felt like hassle to try yours, or you know, it doesn't come with, I don't mean it in a bad way, but it doesn't come with bells and whistles like, look, this can do this. It's like, this is a really simple product. If you put it on, you'll see what happens. It's amazing. And there's no time. You don't have to wait. You don't have to do this. It's like you see it straight away. And I mean, I sometimes forget that I've put it on. But this is the thing. So a lot of the time, I actually tend to do yours ones at nighttime. I don't know why. I always seem to do my tan, I always do face. I'm a bit crap when it comes to the body. I'm not going to lie, because I've always made those mistakes. So I always do it at nighttime, and I sometimes forget. So I get up and like do all my thing. And then I'm like, why do I look so like fresh? And then I'm like, oh my God, of course, it's a man handling. But it's not in your face. That's what I mean. It doesn't make me feel like, oh my God, I look like I've just been to the Bahamas. You know how some tan can be that extreme, which is great. But I like it subtle. I like it like my makeup. I like things soft, and I don't really necessarily want people to notice. And that's the only thing. Whenever I've done kind of body tanning in the past, I've always done it badly. And I always feel that people go, oh my goodness, you're wearing Faketan. And that's not what I want people to say. I want them to go, wow, you look amazing.
Well, that's the whole ethos, that, you know, that was my sort of mission, is, you know, my mission statement was to, you know, for me, I want everyone to look well. Oh my God, you look really well.
Yes.
You look glowing.
Yes.
She's had a tan.
Yeah.
You know, she looks like Iron Brew. She's
smelly. I also think that that's the makeup artist in you, you know, because what everyone always used to say to us is the best compliment you can get being a makeup artist is no one really noticing your work. And I think if someone notices your work, you're like, oh, you're not supposed to see that lace. You're not supposed to see that join. You're not supposed to see that. And I think that that's from your brain. You're like, that's exactly why it works so beautifully, and that's why your makeup artistry history and brain will come into that. And I think that makes it very different and really unique.
And also our love of brushes, right? These guys.
Yeah.
I mean, why, you know, tanning or any sort of application that you want to look beautifully buffed, beautifully polished, and as you say, unseen, really, to the naked eye, and subtle and like lightly layered, because we layer, hence why your makeup looks amazing, because you don't know where it begins and ends. Yes? Yeah,
that's true. Blend. That's my key word. Blend.
But you're perfectly blended.
Oh, bless you.
Well, you are. So these guys.
Yeah, I love it.
This is why, I suppose, you know, I mean, just going back to Tannage and why we love this is because it hasn't got any alcohol in it, which I'm not a big fan of alcohol and tan, DHA, double dry.
Yeah.
Hideous.
And really does that really like deep skin dry where you're like, I feel like I'm gonna crack my skin by moving my elbow.
That's probably why you don't like it on the body, because you can feel it as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same. You'll absolutely know what I'm talking about, is why makeup will look beautiful on one skin than the other, and normally it's because of the hydration levels underneath.
100%.
What they, you know, flat concealer all over the face with on a dry bed. I
find it extraordinary when I still meet makeup artists that don't prep the skin.
I know.
What?
I know.
What? Why would you do that? That's like not putting flour in a cake, which I have done.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So this has to sit in aloe vera, hyaluronic, collagen, and everything else that we love.
Yeah.
Plus, you're also going to put all of those things, well, you're not, but your moisturizer, your SPF, your serums, your primers, bang it all on. I don't care. And then you can pop this on over the top. But you can do, you do it at night, I do this in the day, because I just sort of wake up and go, ooh, I'm a bit white.
Do you know what? I have been doing it recently, but I was just quite scared of it because, like I said, it sounds really bad, but I am a bit rubbish when it comes down. So I just go, oh, I'm going to put it on at night and then let it develop, because I'm still got in that mentality of letting it develop. But I mean, I was watching Lisa Snowdon the other day and she was using your little one. And also I just told you this earlier, but I found that, I mean, life-changing
one. Yeah.
Amazing. And she was just literally like, I'm just going to pop on my Amanda Harrington. And I was like, oh, she's doing it in the morning. Why did I not even think about doing that?
Well, you should, because you could just, I mean, forego the foundation, just bang it on. I bang it on.
Yeah.
Put a little cheekbone on like that.
Yes.
Like
that's
that.
what I love about this brush.
Which is cool. Put a bit on the nose, as we do. And then I'm putting tinted moisturizer on, concealer, brow gel, Mazzy, and that's it.
Yeah. And like straight away. That's the nice thing about it.
Straight away.
Yeah.
So
really good on guys too. Good on guys.
So good on
male
guys.
Grooming, really
because
good.
Of the beard, that you get, there's no, oh my god, the lines.
Oh, horrendous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm now.
So it's very good on men, very good. Even, you know, if they've got like a bearded stubble bit here, you can just buff it in, buff the mist in, and it goes all the way around the hairline. So it's very good on men. But on men, what I would say is you shade slightly differently to a woman.
Yeah.
So with a mist on a woman, I do a cheekbone, but then I go into the top.
Yeah.
To temple here to lift.
Yeah, same.
On a male, I just do the whole thing and I bring it in.
Yeah, and I tend to kind of, when I'm sculpting them, I tend to go down here.
Down here, yes.
Yeah, yes.
We'll go
no, you're right. So with the guys, I tend to kind of sculpt down here, so it kind of gives more of that chisel.
Exactly. That's what they want. So chiseled look. But yeah, so what I would say is, in short, can we all just start thinking about doing this as your base? Yes. And then adding touches over the top of it, you know, and just looking glowy just for the winter, because
absolutely, because there's nothing more miserable.
No, and it's so fine, and we can just have fun with the colors. I mean, I do rose.
And you? So for fairer skin, see, I've got have you got natural olive.
Yeah, I love olive too. I wear olive a lot because I just want it slightly deeper.
Yeah.
And it's not light, medium, and dark. We're not here. We don't do that.
Yeah, that's amazing though. That's really interesting, because also you go for the tone of your.
You go for the tone, and I go quite yellowy in the winter. So will you?
Yeah.
So that's why olive's quite nice, because it kind of will just flip that back.
Yes.
But rose is so beautiful. If you're doing a very fair complexion, actually, this one's quite cool.
Yeah.
Just use it as blusher. Don't bother about doing the whole face. Just use it as a blusher, and it's so pretty.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
With a lip. Lovely.
That's so good. See, so did you feel that there was like a hole in the market for that kind of thing? Because as soon as someone says to me like, oh, you need to bring out your own makeup range, I'm like, have you seen how saturated the market is with everything? Like, there's no way my brain could consider that. But like, how did you go, do you know what, this is definitely something we're missing, because there isn't anything else like it?
That's exactly right. I looked at the tanning vertical.
Yeah.
Because I was tanning, I was just doing the whole thing. Doing bods and faces. But I like being with the body, oddly. I get really weird. I'm sure you're like this with a face or a client. If I'm not with a body for a while, or I'm not I sound like an
No,
absolute
it's the
weirdo.
touching thing.
But if I'm not touching skin and I'm not, it's like a therapy for me. I'm just like, if I'm not doing that and I'm not coloring something, which is my obviously the body is my canvas, but it is, and it's like, if I'm not with it and I'm not creating it and making it look beautiful, I get really weird.
That's so interesting.
I get itchy.
I have found, like, because obviously I do have to, like, you know, sculpt in abs and this, that, and the other. And again, quite hard to find something, because I end up just going to makeup, because I'm like, oh, I'll just do it with my foundation, or I'll do it with my contour palette, or anything like that, which obviously isn't very helpful, especially if they're dancing, because then it slides off and it kind of marks, and, you know, it's just a nightmare. But yeah, the illusion of all of it, I've always gone to makeup for that rather than tan, because the amount of times I'm like, I'll put a tan on someone, and especially if you want it to wash off or something like that, it's always a weird color. It's either a gray, or it doesn't look like their natural shade. So that's why I guess I've always drawn it in with my own products, because I can control the color and know what I'm doing. Whereas, yeah, I think you're right. This kind of thing is genius. So is that kind of what you were like,
Yes,
that's where it came from?
I just saw them. I saw the bods on red carpet, on TV, definitely on TV, and on films, and I was doing a lot of them. And I was mixing my own colors. I was doing my own palette, you know, but with DHA in it, and mixing tints together, and looking at undertones. It's like we do with, you know, every foundation. I was like, why is no one looking at the undertones of the skin with tan? And they're still doing light, medium, and dark, but not changing the color tones. So you will just get one color, which is normally, to be quite technical, DHA is very red. And if you don't counteract it with lots of different other pigments and colors, you're just going to get a very burnt orange, or flat, or yellow in skin, and it just sits oddly. It never blends in, and my whole mission was to make sure that the tint blended in, and as you say, you just look well. And that's I think why everyone's kind of gone, wow, this is a game changer. Because it's like semi-permanent base makeup.
And it does, it has that beautiful, I mean, literally just a tiny bit of a glow that I've got on my hand. I'm like, loving life.
But then, you know, the whole point is that you then elevate it with makeup, you know, you then bring it to life. I want everyone to bring this to life with cute blushes, cute lips, cute, you know, just subtle stuff that we know. Obviously, and everyone, I mean, you know, everyone's into makeup. It's, you know, we've all got the glow. There's just so many amazing products out there.
Well, I know what you mean, though, especially coming into this time of year, like, you know, autumn, winter. I think people really still want to keep that. And it was the same. Like, I love to have my skin looking kind of warm, and it just makes you feel so much better having a bit of a tan. Like, you know, when I went on holiday and I was like, oh my God, I've finally got that tan skin that I needed, you know, it just makes you feel so much better. And the fact that we can't do it, and we haven't been able to do a lot of that, it just makes such a difference having your body just that little bit of glow to it. It's just a game changer for everyone's mood and everyone's mental health.
Like, oddly, just, you know when it's sort of, we're in a cashmere and we're rolling a sleeve up, I literally just do a bit on show. I just do that. I just put tiny bit of mousse on.
I have to do that with a lot of presenters' hands.
And that's what you do. I literally put this souffle mousse on a body brush, and it just takes the edge off. Look.
Oh my God, it's so good. That is so good.
Clever?
Yeah, that's really good.
And it's like, oh God, actually that arm looks so much nicer than that one.
And people don't realize, it drives me nuts. I'm like, do your hands. I'm like, the amount of presenters, especially guys, because they often can be quite red or anything like that, and I'm always like,
quite mottled.
We need to do your head, we need to do your hands, and
they're normally quite dry, so I quite like to put like a, you know, like a rescue balm on. I've got one called Ultra Balm, and then I just put a little bit of mousse on, and it's dry, instantly dry.
And it doesn't move. That's the other thing, it doesn't transfer. Whereas, of course, what I'm doing with bronzer or makeup, it will just come straight off.
And it will come off on the shirt cuff.
Yeah. 100%. It's so annoying. And then the costume department hate you.
Yeah.
What would be your I'm really interested to know, what was your moment? You know, when someone is a singer and they've written a song and they hear it on the radio for the first time, what was the moment that you were like, oh my God, and you like a real pinch moment? Do you have one of those?
What of what I created? Of
No, of like, well, but both actually, if they were different times, both. Were you like, I did that and it looks amazing?
Yes.
Or were you like, oh my God, such and such is wearing my tan and spoken about it? Like,
yes. So when Jennifer Aniston bought my products, and she was the first one to buy them on the day they launched, and she said, I'm so proud of you and I've been waiting for this.
Oh my gosh, that's
Isn't that
amazing.
amazing. And she was so, she's just wonderful, and she loves the tan. So I think that was a great moment for me.
Did you know her before that? Have you worked with her in the past?
Yes. Because I do a lot of LA bods.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like this in LA. They're all still, I mean, there's salons called Spray La Vie.
Classic.
So
amazing.
I
so you
get over there and change it all.
Yes, you
but
do.
No, I do fly for, red carpet. And things like that. So that was really good. I've seen it a lot in films. I'm like, oh my God. And I can tell immediately.
How can you tell?
I can just tell my colors. I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. And even if I haven't done it, if one of my team's done it,
I mean,
I'll know I'll know in a magazine or whatever. I'll just know.
Oh,
that's amazing.
So amazing. That's so lovely.
Do you feel like that? What was your defining moment?
Well, I know I often when you're a makeup artist, it's through someone else, isn't it? So you just feel hugely proud of someone's achievement. And I love the fact that that's like, I can imagine that you were like making up, someone like Jennifer Aniston, exactly like that. And you'll be like, oh, I've got my own thing coming out. And we've all been there. And they always say that, especially hairdressers. They're like, oh yeah, I've done my own product. And you're like, great, send it to me and I'll have a look at it. And you go, you're going to send it. I'm going to send it to you. You're never going to talk about it. You're just being kind. And then for someone to be like, oh my God, this is amazing and loving it. That's so nice. And that I can imagine that being hugely like.
That was huge, when you're just putting your life's work out into the marketplace. And I'm like, guys, will you get this? Will you understand what I'm trying to do here? Will you figure out the miss with the brush thing? Will it be too complicated? And now, I mean,
that's so nice.
Yeah, it was really, just incredible. Val Garland asked for it the other day.
Amazing.
Courtney Love was talking about it. I was like, this is cool.
That's really cool. It's just it's those moments where you kind of sometimes just have to sit back, and especially being English, we are so like, oh no, we don't take compliments. No, let's not think about that. And I just think it's so nice to actually sometimes remind someone of how amazingly they've done, and also like that's a really big achievement. Like that's really cool. And I think sometimes you need to have that just with yourself privately. You just need to be like, yeah, I like that. I'm glad I did that.
I hope you do that.
I do sometimes with things. I mean, like I was thrilled when I had my eyelashes brought out, and I really I felt really bad for Ilia because I was like, I'm going to be a nightmare with this. And they were like, no, we've worked with makeup artists before. And I was like, I know, but I'm going to be like, can we make that a little bit shorter? Can we make that a little bit longer? Can we do this? And I felt super proud. And it's so weird going in, and especially because my face is on it, which is bizarre. So whenever I go into Boots and see it there, I always make sure that I obviously cover my packets across the whole thing, which they're like, she's been here.
But they are so, do you know why I love them? Because they're so natural.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You've just
use them on all my clients. I love them.
I just think I knew that makeup artists would love the individual ones, just because you can create your own thing with it. And I think that was a big thing. And I think it's just those moments where there are people in your life that you wish you'd seen it. Like my dad passed away 5 years ago, and I wish that my dad had seen that. And whenever you're creating something, especially if you've lost a parent or anything like that, you always have the people. My dad was always very like, okay, what next? And I'm very lucky my partner does that now for me, which is great. But I love the fact that you have people in your life that push you, and I feel like they're all my family is so supportive and proud of me, and I could do anything, they'd be like, that's incredible. But it's just when you hear someone say that to you that would do that, but at the same time they're not overly gushy. I think that's really nice, and I was really, you know, I felt really chuffed with that. And when I got to see, you know, your thing somewhere, I think it's amazing. And also, like, I see it every, you know, when Oti won, you know, Strictly, and I knew how hard she'd worked, and I'm with her the whole time. You know, you're there for the tears, you're there for the kind of like, you need to calm down, you're there for like, you know, the frustration. And to see her win something a second time is like, just I'm so proud of people that I work with that I love. And I think that's really nice. So I kind of, you get both sides, don't you? You're kind of like, yay. I'm much better at yaying for others than I am for myself.
Of course. But that's why you're a makeup artist and you're backstage. That is exactly why.
Yeah.
But you're also front stage and you're doing an amazing job. Yes, see?
Yeah, no, it's fun. It is fun. But I just think, I mean, I just think I love it. I love your stuff, and I love it for exactly that reason. I feel like I've learned even more about it just having the conversation with you. So, which I think is brilliant.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
This one's going into my set bag because it's a perfect size for that.
Well, quite. I mean, I'm going to obviously send you all the mousse because I need you to get into the mousse scenario.
I know, I'm gonna do the mousse, and I can do it all over my body and then put clothes on.
Yes, that's the whole point. I invented this for my time poor clients. I remember I was doing a really big producer at 7:30 on a Monday morning. No, it was 6:30 every Monday morning, and she used to be putting a leather pant on to go to the studio as I was tanning her body, and I was like, I've got to make sure that my products are completely set within a minute.
That's incredible. That is incredible. That's, I mean, yeah, I think it's awesome, and I think what you're doing is lovely. And
well, what you're doing is incredible, and we just love watching you on This Morning and seeing you in boots, just flashing away, looking fabulous.
Thank you. Well, I'm just glad. It's so nice. As I said, it's so nice to, I love trumpeting other makeup artists because I know how much thought, and like, we get each other's thought processes. So I just love the fact that it's so nice when people, you know, who are lovely people and have worked really hard, and you kind of know the background of it. And I just think it's so important to like have each other's backs on that kind of thing, because, you know, you deserve it. Yeah, you work really hard. So
yeah, we do work hard. Lots of love.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye, Annie.